There was one moment in my life where I was halfway through graduate school and I was considering dropping out. And I had this question that a friend asked me. She said, when all is said and done, if you're looking back 10 years and you drop out now, how would you compare your chance of regretting it if you stay in? And I realized if I finished, I would never regret it. But if I dropped out, I would. I might. There was a better chance. And so when I think about that decision, that moment, that fork in the road, do I go right? Do I go left? Do I work with a mentor? Do I go it alone? When that moment comes, I would want people to ask themselves, what are you more likely to regret? Going it alone or having a guide for the path? So often we cut ourselves off from our own success because we're scared of it. And so we make a decision to like play it small, play it safe, be worried about, the not having the money right now instead of the possibility of what the money is. The trade I make with my clients is, $20 or $30,000 now for $20 or $30,000 a month going forward. I mean, I talk a lot about the stock market. Like what's the stock that you can invest $20,000 in that's going to pay off $200,000? Like sign me up for that stock. Because the best stock I know in this stock market is the stock of me. Like I know if I make the $20,000 investment, the chance of me getting a 200 or 2,000% return is a lot better than any stock out there. The reason why my clients make the financial commitments they do to working with me and the entire Author Incubator team is that without us, the same results that might take them 5 years, 10 years, results they may never get, they can get from working with us in 3 to 6 months. And for my clients, it's not about the money. The money is part of it because the money is needed to fund their movement. But what my clients are most interested in is making a difference with their message. Many of them have been through traumatic experiences. Many of them have not always had an easy road. But what they have in common is at their core, they know they're here to make a difference and to help people with the pain that they've had and they've learned how to turn around. And what they have proven to themselves, often over 1 to 5 years, is that they can't make that difference on their own. They might have the best tools in the world. They might have learned the hardest lessons possible to learn. And yet, they're not reaching people and they're not getting their message heard and they're not being invited to speak and they're not being invited on the news and they don't have clients begging to work with them, even though they have the most powerful message in the world. And so making that $30,000 investment or, there are various investment levels, but certainly many of our clients have spent tens of thousands of dollars to work with us. They do that because they get the results. Their message is getting out there. They not only pay back their investment, but they begin to see a $10,000 to $50,000 a month income stream. And that income is, yes, paying for their family and paying for their houses, but in many cases, that income stream is funding a movement that's going to change the world. And together we gather evidence that that's happening. And part of that evidence, a key part of that evidence, is the revenue they bring in. One of the things I tell my clients is like, it's very difficult to make a meaningful difference on this planet without generating revenue in the tens of thousands of dollars a month. Mother Teresa wrote 30 books. She generated over $100 million from those books. I don't care how much of a humanitarian. She obviously was not using the $100 million to fund her like palatial home, right? Or her clothing. But one of the ways we know she was making a difference is that she was generating revenue. And so, my clients are prepared to make an investment in themselves when they believe that we are the key to them, maybe generating $100 million. I have no doubt that at some point one of our clients will have a movement that generates $100 million. I'm sure of it. We certainly have many, many people have generated in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to fund their movements, and they're powerful movements of hope, of change, of transformation and healing, and things that I personally believe in and want more of in the world. So when you're at that fork in the road and you don't know what to do, ask your future self. Ask yourself in 10 years, what's the thing you will have wished you did?